Hello and welcome to another software training video from BetfairTradingCommunity.com, showing you how to use the Betfair Trading football stats software that is so popular. So what we're going to look at today, and someone asked for this on the forum, is a halftime lay the draw, specifically looking at games that are 0-0 and 1-1 at halftime, where the matches don't finish in a draw very often. The reason for this is that often you will get shorter odds at halftime if a match is a draw, on the draw. It kind of makes sense, right? If the draw's 4-1 at kickoff and it's 0-0 at half time, well, you're halfway there, so the odds will often come into around 3-1, perhaps lower. So what you want to look at here is it being a draw at half time, and then obviously the match doesn't end a draw. That's what we're going to base this filter and strategy around. Now, as a quick caveat, I say this on all my videos, but I know some people do get confused by this. This isn't a tip video. I'm not even saying that this strategy we create today will make money. It will need to be tested. And this is what's really important. Whenever you create a Betfair trading strategy, you must go and test it on the Betfair trading markets. Really, really important, guys. I know a lot of people don't do this, but it's really important. If you want to find a strategy that works, that's what you should do. You always want to forward test. You always want to look at the games and see whether it works. See what works and maybe what you need to tweak if need be. So that's really important, and that's what will give you strength as a Betfair trader. The reason we do it this way is that we want you to be able to create your own strategies so that you're not reliant on someone else, so that you are able to go, yeah, I've created my strategy, here's the Betfair Trading Community software, it will pick the selections from the criteria I've given it every day, and it's making me money. That's what we want from you guys. So let's get on with this one. The first thing you're going to want to create is going to be something that looks for scorelines of 0-0 and 1-1 at half time. So if we click create new filter, and I'm just going to go overall, so that means both teams, and percentage. I always love to use percentages, just so clear and easy, isn't it? Now we're going to look for here half time 1-1 and half time 0-0, because they are the two score lines that were requested. Now you might want to do any score. You might just want to have draw at half time. Now I'm going to put greater than or equal to, and we're going to put 60% here. Okay, so that means that 60% of the time, last 10 games, home for home team, away for away, that it's actually going to look at whether it's been a draw at half time, and if it's 60% or more, it will qualify. Let's add that. So that's our first criteria, okay? But we're going to want a couple more here. So the second criteria I'm going to go for, again, is overall, percentage again, and then we're going to just want drew. So let's see where it is here. Okay, so we're going to look for drew, which means the match was a draw at full time. And we're going to look for less than or equal to 25%. And what this means is that they don't draw more than a quarter of the time. And we will add this. Now, the last thing I'm going to add here is a matches played figure. The reason for that is that I want to look at games from this season, and I want to look at games where they've played plenty of matches so far this season. So I'm going to click overall again, total this time, because we want total matches. Scroll all the way to the bottom. I always put this on my filters. Matches played greater than or equal to 8. Okay, brilliant. So we add that. And that's our third criteria, okay? Now you could maybe add something else, maybe look at odds, things like that. But just for this today, we're going to look at this. Okay, so I'm going to leave all of this the same, but I'm going to tick a couple of boxes. I'm going to tick restrict to current season. I'm going to tick restrict to going in play matches. This is going to be an in-play trade, so I'm going to need that. As always, click exclude playoffs, so I'll click that again. We're just going to go for halftime LTD, and we're just going to save it. Okay, and as we save it, 3 matches have popped up on the filters. Two from today, and 1 for tomorrow. Now, what's really good here is you can actually see the criteria. So we can see that Valencia versus Las Palmas at half-time is draw quite a lot of the time, right? 1-1 or 0-0, 76% of the time. And the criteria is 25% they drew the match, okay? So now that's a situation where if at half-time you're getting better than 3-1 odds to lay the draw, so shorter will be better. So if you're getting below 4.0 on Betfair, that might be a price you want to lay the draw. Okay, and again, people often ask me, well, how do you determine value? This is one way of looking at potential value. But again, like I said, it would need testing. I'm not saying this would work. And this trade, maybe a draw at halftime, might finish a draw. Okay, and remember as well that, because a lot of people get hung up on the result of one match. This isn't saying, so even here, 25% of the time, Valencia Las Palmas is finishing a draw. So we're saying that, yeah, it will happen. It will happen 25% of the time. So, some people, they see a result and they go, oh, well, it was a draw. This obviously doesn't work. You can't base your judgment of a strategy on one result. And the amount of times I see that, it's quite frustrating because, any mathematician, any statistician, any data scientist will tell you that basing your theory off one result is utter nonsense, which is why I don't do the tips, part of the reason why I don't share these and go, oh, look at this match, this is what's going to happen. So like I say, Valencia Las Palmas, that's kicking off in a couple of hours. This video will probably be up before then. I'm just going to put it straight out now. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens in that match. But again, don't let the result of that one game determine your opinion of a strategy. It will be really interesting to see this over a few hundred matches. And again, even looking at the 3 games, you cannot make a judgment call. And the reason I say this is I just see so many people doing it, and it can be really, really frustrating to watch them make that mistake. Now, as ever, you can export these results in our software and it will come up like that. And you can actually see that the results have come up here, and I can actually put that into a CSV and I can test the strategy moving forward. And that's what you would do. You would look for games that are 0-0 at half time. If you're watching them live, note the odds. Note the odds down, what they are, because that's ideal. Then you know whether you're getting a good price or not, and then you can see whether this would have made money had you laid the draw. Now, would you want to green up if there's a goal in the second half? Again, that's up to you. A couple of things here. Now remember, the reason I do these videos and this training is that it gives you good ideas of what you could do with your own strategies. And remember, it's all about creating your own strategies to give you the power as a Betfair trader. So there's a couple of things you could look at here. You could look at maybe you want a higher percentage of 0-0 and 1-1s at halftime. Maybe you don't think 60 is enough. So you're like, well, I want to go 70 plus. Okay, cool. You might want a lower percentage of draws at full time. You might say 25% is too high. So again, that's something you can look at. But this is the beauty of Betfair trading. You can test a strategy like this and you might find that something different works better. But remember to test that data and look at it and go, okay, this is what works and this is what doesn't. This is what I could tweak. This is what I don't need to tweak. Or this is what works as a strategy. So I hope that's kind of given you some ideas for how you could create a half-time later draw strategy. This is very simple, very basic criteria, but I often find that the best strategies do come from that initially anyway. But as I've said a couple of times already, and I'll say it one last time, I have no idea if this one will make money. It would need to be tested. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. If you could like, subscribe, do all those lovely things, that really helps us. It helps us keep producing this content for you for free. And yeah, hope you have a great week, everyone. I'll be back with another one soon.